Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. Whoa, I came in pretty strong there. We are taking on Power Krebs here for our first match, or the last match of Ether Raids for this week, Chaos Season. And we're going with the Fjorm team. She hasn't failed me yet. So basically, we're going to try to tank pretty much everything here. My only concern is sabotage here from Camilla. So we're going to try to false start that with Elamine. Because what that can cause is I don't have any debuff neutralization, so if Storm gets outsped, she dies, because that's what speedy god swords are pretty much like. If they lose the speed check, they're basically dead, unless you're able to one shot with a DR piercing special, which Fjorm does not have. But yeah, once we get the false start off here on Camilla, we should be good to go.
So hot.
Kind of want to take on everyone here except Golveg, so I'll put Micaiah in that lane, and then
Here I go.
we should be Gucci, I think. Something like this.
Speak.
Fjorm will beat everyone here, and then I can just leave Micaiah to take
Will
on
do.
Golveg. I mean, I do have penalty neutralization or some form of it from Attune Micaiah, but if I don't put my boy Edward here behind Summer Fjorm, Fjorm will die to chip damage. So yeah, let's do this right. Let's start off with How much DR does she get? 60? Okay. Yeah, I'm dead here. Panic Mana? No, Bright Shrine. Ah, jeez. I forgot that she would... Okay, fine. I forgot that Golveg would have been able to choose Fjorm as an attack target as well. I was really trying to bait her with Attune Micaiah there, because Micaiah would have won that matchup. Does Edward win this, or does he get one shot here? Okay. Yeah, that is okay again. Okay, well, she's dead here. Whatever. That was the Bright Shrine, actually. The Bright Shrine got me there. Yeah, the debuffs actually matter in speed matchups, of course. And as you can see, or as you saw, I did not, or as I was saying, I didn't back up Fjorm with Micaiah, which would have been the correct play, but, well, hard to say at this point, because Camilla would have still done her chip damage thing, and yeah, it would have been a lot to deal with, but it's fine. That's our last ladder. We can play one more still. It's totally okay. My bad. Alright, we are taking on Corexon? I don't know how to say that. And we're going to go with the Fjorm team again. This time, no mistakes. The only thing here to worry about is the Bright Shrine. Although there is Ploy, but this time I will put Micaiah behind Fjorm so that he doesn't get debuffed. Or that the debuffs will get neutralized, pretty much, is what will happen there. So yeah, we're gonna line it up. False starting, what's her name again? Nino. So that she doesn't get too far down, and then the only other concern that I'll have is a dance from Azura there, in terms of where that dance will end up. Only 2 buffs on Fjorm, so don't have to worry too much about what Loki will do aside from the plus 10 true damage. I'm actually really interested in what this Winter Lysithia's Refine will be, because she's actually really nuts in terms of what her weapon does. It's just that because she's colorless, it's a little bit undertuned, so she'll have to get some type of refine that will put her somewhere towards the level of Tea Time Lysithia, who I think is the the only Lysithea that they did right, aside from Brave Lysithea. Brave Lysithea is actually really good as well. It's just Power Crept. Back when Triangle Attack was a thing, she was like everywhere after she got her refine, but Power Crept. But in any case, I think this Winter Lysithea was actually really underpowered because they gave her a Brave. She was one of the first, if I'm not mistaken. No.
Here I go.
At least for colorless, she was the first that had a Brave effect, and I think they didn't get the might, the weapon strength right on this unit. She doesn't hit as hard as she should hit because of the fact that she doesn't have weapon triangle advantage, and I think they wanted to balance that, but they didn't do a very good job of balancing it properly. Her weapon strength should have been somewhere closer to what someone else got a Brave in colorless. Am I mistaken? No. What's her name? She just came out, Veil. It should have been somewhere closer to what Veil got, just so that she could have been able to hit hard enough. But yeah, I'm still like really interested to see how they'll go about her refine, because it's a very simple weapon, but actually very powerful. So she should be a really good unit. If anyone still has a copy of her, at least, because a lot of people ended up foddering her because she just didn't do enough. And I find that Winter banner in specific wasn't the best, I feel. But in any case, we're going to be tanking pretty much everything here. I think Lucius is going to be able to hit Micaiah because of the dance from Azura. Either that, well, I hope he moves before Loki, because yeah, I don't want Loki getting danced. Loki will probably kill Micaiah back there. Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but yeah, pretty sure that baby Lucius will get danced there. Plus then, baby, I'm thinking of doing some investment on Cornelia, the one from the Grail shop. I actually picked up, oh god, thank you so much for the luck. I picked up a spare copy of what's her face, Emblem Celica, and I don't know what to do with the fodder yet. I'm not gonna merge her because I think the B skill that she has can be pretty useful depending on who I'm able to give it to, so I'm gonna hold on to that for a little bit. But yeah, very, very happy that I was able to. I went back in for like one final session and I got her the extra unit in just a couple of pulls, so I was really happy about that. That blue, the blue pool on that banner is simply fantastic. That's like one of the best blue pools that we've had in a long time on a legendary banner, so definitely great value even after the spark. I feel like just pulling on blue alone, you should definitely have the attune units that are on that banner are just so good. It's so difficult to pass them up. So yeah, that really just skyrocketed the value there on that banner. I don't think we'll get a share like that for now, anytime soon in the future, because I don't think we've had, aside from attuned Micaiah, I don't think we've had any other attuned or rearmed unit that has been as good as the Ivies and Sheeta. So it should be a while before we get a share on any color that is that good. Looking at the units that have come out after the Ascended Sheeta banner, it's probably going to have to be Fallen banner before we start getting fairly decent units again on the color shares. But anyways, very happy that I was able to pick up the copy. I'm not going to merge it because, you know, the 600 flowers is, but I only have the one, and I know that skill won't be on any other units for a while. So I definitely want to get that onto like a rearmed or something. I ended up benching Soth because he just doesn't do enough. Anything really. I feel like Ascended Joshua is better. But yeah, Soth got benched. I don't want to put it on Micaiah because she can't really use it because there's a perf B. I got like one Spear Ivy, but I don't want to do that either. And also, forget whatever I said about Emblem Celica not being able to kill Merge. She totally can do it, or missing the kill. Yeah, she can definitely get the kill if you like equip her right. Solos pretty much everything in the game, even Ike, which is a pleasant surprise. So yeah, GG's. See you next one. All right, welcome to the defense replays for this week. We're going to go into it pretty quick here. I'm not going to do a ton of edits this one because it's pretty much the same defense that I ran for like the past 3 Chaos seasons, I believe. So yeah, we got our first match here. Usual lineup. You know what's going to be really interesting is to see how often or how common this Evil Veil becomes. Is this the format? Yeah, it is. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how common this Evil Veil is, because she actually plays a really big part in how defenses function. A lot of your defense's killing capability comes down to the special, especially against a matchup like Ike. The special plays a big part in, being able to take him out, and Veil kind of negates that to a large extent. Personally, I'm considering running a lot more feud effects, like either colorless feud or red feud. That's what I'm considering, but I don't want to make that investment just yet because the C slot actually is becoming quite competitive for range units. In particular, I appreciate no follow-up in the C slot. The infantry, the one that offers the warping, I really appreciate that one. So I don't know if I'd be willing to sacrifice that for colorless feud. So I'm really hoping that colorless feud or the feud skills in general get some type of power bump, so that they can do a little bit more than just what they currently do, which is actually really strong. But I need them to do a little bit more, because this Veil really does turn defensive matchups on their head. So yeah, this was the first match. We pretty much got the win there. Pretty straightforward. This was the first loss of the season. This one didn't count against Gen X. What he did here was that this Corrin, I think, has a ton of potential for a good refine. And I feel like they sneak in a couple of those every now and then, kind of like the legendary Seliph. When they aren't able to completely figure out what to do with a unit that they build, and then they just put like good skills on the unit when the refine comes out. But just looking at this unit for what he is right now, he's a bit undertuned. I feel like he could have been a lot. He's built like a bulk. He's built like an Omni tank, but I feel like he needs a little bit more speed. Even though he has good stats, but he's really kind of like min-max, I feel. Not min-maxed. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but he needed more speed. Essentially, he's not as fast as he could be. I feel like if he had a little bit more speed, he would have been more impactful on the meta. Being able to double is a big deal in a lot of matchups. Oh, you know what I just noticed here, actually? My range units are actually, the water terrain is not impacting their movements, which it should be doing.
This is the path
I feel like, Igrin, right. She gives the passable terrain effect. That is interesting. So, there you go. The water terrain being not a problem, actually. I didn't actually consider that. There you go. But yeah, like I was saying, I feel like if he was a little bit faster, he would have been a better Omni tank. I think about female Corrin when I see him, and her niche is that she has that special, whatever that thing is called. I can't remember right now. That gives her all of that unpierceable DR, whereas that is kind of what makes her such a good unit, and the fact that it can proc multiple rounds. He needs more speed to kind of replicate that. You didn't get the pots here. It doesn't matter. Yeah, he needs more speed to be kind of able to replicate something like that.
I'll keep moving forward.
Yeah. Ultimately, that's just my I feel like he just needed to be faster. If he was faster, granted, you can like stack speed on him, but it's a bit of a challenge to do that. I mean, you gotta put like all the right pieces into place just to support him so that he can be fast. And you kind of want that speed out of the box, kind of like male legendary Alear, who I think is the best. I think he's better than Ike. Aside from the fact that he actually can't kill Ike, because a lot of times he just hits Ike for zeros. But also Ike has a bad matchup into him because of the Scowl effect. So, what do you do? But I think legendary male Alear is probably the best Omni tank in the game currently. On par, tied with Ike for the best Omni tank in the game because of the miracle effect. And I feel like that Corrin, the male Corrin, could actually have ended up in that rank and in that tier as well if he had just a bit more speed. You could even subtract it from his attack and put it in more towards his speed. I feel like that would have been a better allocation of his stats. This is like the second or third time that we've seen this Evil Veil. Yeah, the Scowl, it's a problem. It's a problem. And when I see it, it makes me reconsider some of my defensive builds, because you really want your special against Ike to hit on the first combat. In order to do that, you need Rally Spectrum. Plus, they already need to have their special pre-charged, and it's a lot of work to get that on. So I don't know, man. It's I don't know. It makes me reconsider things when I see that. Something to think about. But yeah, I'm interested to see what that Corrin's Refine will be in 10 years from now. That's when it will be out, more than likely, if the game is still around, which I think it might be. It's not it's not unimaginable that it won't be around 10 years from now. I think what's that? 2034? I don't see the game ending anytime soon. I think especially as phones start processing more and do more, it'll just allow them to do more things with a game like this, and I think it's gonna be a good platform to play something like Fire Emblem Heroes on. Maybe even an actual Fire Emblem game, like an emulator or something. I don't know, but yeah. I actually like this Azura a lot more than I'd like to admit. I feel like what she offers in her dance is actually really beneficial to offensive teams, even defenses as well. I really, really like that Azura as a unit. It's just a pity that she isn't a duo. I feel like I really wish we could swap some of these skills to the alternative units that are already in the game. That would be a really nice feature. Broken, but it would be really nice, because if the duo offered the same dance that this harmonic did, the duo would actually be really nuts. But yeah, that's a separate topic. So yeah, Gatekeeper here just being a menace, but unfortunately Loki's just preventing us from taking any useful combats here. Not that he would really kill anyone here, but it would prevent them from getting the pots sooner, which, I mean, sometimes you want to do, sometimes it doesn't really matter. I mean, get the pots, that's a part of the whole game here. I really invested a ton of fodder into my Azura, that's why I kind of like her as much as I do. What I want to do is get Rearm Arcane Prima, the axe from Rearm Lucina, or was it a Tune Lucina? I don't remember. So that she can actually have more of a player phase, but then she loses Kanto. So I don't know, I'm kind of 50-50 on that. But she's actually, my build that I have on her does a lot in terms of combat with the Assassin Strike. Yeah, we're gonna keep going here. Oh yes, I was talking about Celica. Man, she's nuts. She is so very good, especially the Emblem Ring. Oh my god, it is so good. I really wanted to fit Emblem Marth on defense with the Emblem Ring, but I just can't find a space for him. I hate that I'm locked into some of the units that I'm locked into. I wish we had just one more spot on defense, so I could, just a free spot so that you could do something silly with And that's really what I would do with it if I had that extra slot. What would that be, like 8? I don't think it would be a big problem. You could probably still clear most defenses. If it was just 7 versus 8, I think it's fine. Yeah, it would totally be fine. But yeah, it's really nuts in terms of because his potent, he can kill like the 90% of the units in the game, especially with the Lodestar Rush. So I'd love to like figure out a way to get it to work, but that would mean that I'd have to drop one of the mythics, and I don't necessarily recommend doing that, especially when you actually have the bonus mythic. If you don't care about your score, because it's a big score hit if you do that. So if you don't care about your score, then fine, do what you want to do, but I actually care about staying in the vault, at least. So I don't want to commit to something like that. And it kind of stops some of my save tanks from working properly. This is a fantastic clear with Emblem Celica here. I think you can actually counter, because she doesn't one-shot Gatekeeper because he gets true DR from his Refine, based on his defense, I believe it is. So she doesn't one-shot him, and he can actually kill her if he has like a special up or if he just hits hard enough. Hardy Baron Gatekeeper actually might be the play here to stop Emblem Celica from getting in and taking him out. But I guess you could probably just stack enough attack on her so that she can one-shot, but then that's a whole other thing in terms of building her. It's a lot to think about. But just for like counterplays, Hardy Baron kind of stops her from doing her thing, and it also cements Myr as the best Farg save in the game because she solos dual Byleth. I'm pretty sure she gets the one shot on dual Byleth, so it doesn't matter. See, there's 39. They would have had to do something different in this combat. They would have had a different approach. But then again, if it's like offense and she's lifeless, she would have had a lot more health, so it wouldn't have mattered. Maybe a Glimmer or something, Moonbow, I don't know. But Hardy Baron Gatekeeper might actually work out for you if you were to do that. Hardy Baron Myr is definitely the play now. Unfortunately, I mean, she loses some of her maximum health, but stopping Celica is worth it. Celica kills pretty much everything, man. I didn't realize she was... All you have to do is stack a bunch of speed on her, and she goes nuts. Like, so nuts. It's crazy. I don't know what would be a good... Aside from that, a better counterplay. Probably Miracle from... What's-her-face? Fallen Maria. Because she is... Celica is essentially like a... glass cannon, kind of like Brave Lysithea. If you're able to get a hit in, she's dead. So Miracle probably would be your secondary grace, saving grace somehow. But I don't know how you would set that up without Fallen Maria, unless you're gonna like do some type of where the enemy can't get to your defense in one go. On the first turn at least. So you could probably get like some, I don't know, let's say Brave Sorin, Asker, Miracle thing going. But yeah, Hardy Baron is a lot easier. It feels like almost, and I'm just saying this, it almost feels like we're set to get like some type of Hardy Baron drive effect. I feel like that would be good because of how common this Celica is looking like she's going to be. I feel like literally everyone pulled for her because, of course, she's best girl and she's like really popular, really good on top of that with the warping from her emblem. So I feel like everyone pulled for her, so she's going to be everywhere. And the only way to counter a unit that has that type of desperation effect is to have Hardy Baron. So, and also there's Ike as well that has the Force Desperation, and also to counter him, Hardy Baron does play a role, although it's not like necessarily the main way to counter him. But for Celica, definitely, the Hardy Baron is going to play a big factor. Unless you want to have Scowl so that she doesn't get a one-shot on either hits, or well, on the second hit, if Gatekeeper can survive the special. But that would also be Veil. Evil Veil? I don't like that as much. Although Evil Veil plus Gatekeeper on defense work really well together. Look at this Ike with the emblem ring from Celica. That's crazy, man. This Nell looks pretty good too. I feel like this Nell, her stat distribution is what that Corrin should have had. That should have been his stat distribution, and he would have been a lot better with that type of stat distribution. Yeah, but anyway, Gatekeeper plus Evil Veil on defense is actually a really good counterplay to Gale Force strategies now, because Celica needs the special to kind of kill. Does that include Myrrh as well? If you can get that to work with Myrrh, that probably works out a lot more in your favor as well. So basically 3 units I feel shot up in value. Gatekeeper, no, what am I saying? Myrrh,
This one's mine.
Fallen Maria, and Veil. Fallen Veil. So if you can fit like those 3 units together on defense and still make it threatening, then kudos to you. You have the formula for a winning team. Because it stops pretty much everything. It stops Gale Force, it stops hit and run strats from like melee range or even range, because what's her face? Golvig has a terrible time taking out Evil Fallen Veil unless her special is ready. So, and Scowl, meaning that it probably never will be. So Fallen Veil and what's her face again? Fallen Maria shot up totally. I think that's probably why they gave Fallen Maria to us in the Hall of Forms. IS being cheeky there, not like explicitly saying that you need to pull for this unit, but also just providing that as an option that we can use to counter the direction that the meta is heading in. This was actually a really good clear as well. What he did here for his rematch was that he prevented Robin from rallying. Yeah, if Robin was able to rally here, Ike would have died. Also, I don't have the optimal kit on Igrin here to be able to do enough damage to make the terrain here not matter. Yeah, like I said, this defense is like 3 weeks old, more than 3 months at least old, and I've updated Igrin's kit since then. I just didn't bother to unlock this because I didn't want to. And I've also gotten like a +1, so it changes the matchup against most Emblem Ikes when you're able to run the double life and death, or even Verge of Death combination there. If she rallied or assist happened there, or even harsh command, I wouldn't have had to worry about Ike winning that fight just now. But yeah, kudos to him for finding the right placement here, the right strategy to be able to successfully defeat my defense here. I love the fact that there's just so many minute details that come together that allow you to be able to either win or lose a match. It's really just fascinating, this game. I truly enjoy playing this game. There's so much that goes on in the background that it's
I'll give it a try.
yeah, just me gushing. I found a build with this baby Robin as well. All you need is infantry, like IP4, or not even IP, just IP in general. 1 extra cooldown external plus, or maybe even 2, if you can get the 2, because really you need the 2 to help him out getting an instant Ignis. I feel like that is the best support that you can offer him. So that's 2 units with IP4 or just IP in general. You really want IP4, and then he should be able to ramp like right into Ignis, and that kills most things because it pierces the R. Depending on the amount of merges that you have, you can probably even like almost he was able to take out an Emblem Ike in the last replays that I did. Granted, that Ike wasn't very supported, and he had like what 50 something. I feel like that was a good number, and I also had some sabotage help from Attune Makaya. But yeah, you can get a ton of damage out of that Baby Robin if you have the right setup for him. I'm also kind of like disappointed or sad that Loki bonus season is over, because I've actually grown quite attached to her. The plus 10 true damage has grown on me. Granted, I could probably get that from like a ploy or something, but you're sacrificing the B skill and you also need to meet the res check. And sad to say, but I feel like I'm slowly like using Medius even less now. Even though I still hate the Bolt Tower, a lot of my defenses have been just going on turn 1 because they're typically cav lines, or I've just been forcing initiations. So Gatekeeper Medius hasn't really been a necessity. But yeah, I really do miss Loki's bonus season. Yeah, I'll probably keep using her just for the fun of it. And also Embla as well. I was thinking about how Embla currently fits into this meta, where you really want to get Feud to take out some of the support options that Emblem Ike has. Even though he can like run Breath of Life 4 on himself, I feel like you still want to have that Feud support to eliminate problems like that Veil that I was talking about earlier, Fallen Veil. Because those three units have really just shot up in value for what they're able to provide. Yeah, I've been trying to find a way to get Veils to quad more consistently, and my conclusion is that you need speed and res, both of them. So she can't run Verge of Death, which I thought I could do. No. So my next conclusion is to try to find speed res finish. And equipping her with that and seeing how that pans out. Yeah, if she's able to quad, she'll be a lot more threatening. But yeah, that's pretty much all that we have for the defenses this week. I think maybe we'll get like one more later on, but yeah, that's a lot. 10 is a lot for right now. Looking around here, yeah, this is where we are. Yeah, man, still trying to get that rank 1 in Chaos Season. Hopefully we can get lucky eventually, but it's just still evading. I kind of wanted, like, this Dragon Roar skill is actually like so good, but I don't have hopefully I can get like, hopefully they put it on some other unit, but I think it might be an Alear exclusive. I don't really want to fodder Male Alear because he's a really good unit, but eventually I might, because that Dragon Roar skill is actually like really, really good. I would need that to start building up a dragon far save or near save, or just a dragon save in general. I have the only dragon save that I have is Fallen Grima, Fallen Grima, but she just doesn't really work in the meta without Hardy Fighter. I have this Lisa, or almost this Lisa, without the Laguzrans 4 though. Hard to get, really rare skill, but yeah, I kind of want to run that Lisa. She's really fun to use. What we got here? Okay, I really like this Levina. Merv, my nemesis. Look at him with his plus 10. So look at here. Let's just leave it at this, man. Merv.